Hello there. Are you having a bad day too? Well, maybe you're just hungry. Like, really hungry. Maybe you just want a nice, warm, easy meal to make when you just don't care anymore. Ramen. That's cheap and easy to get in most parts of the world. Easy to prepare and really easy to eat if you just want to keep feeling like garbage. Thing is, this feels awful. This is a full meal that's just sodium and empty calories. And I think we deserve better than that. So let's rummage through the fridge and make this better. First, we'll need 1 packet of ramen. Set the flavor packet aside, you won't need it. You'll also need 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of bouillon, and cayenne to taste. You can use 1 cup of stock instead of water and bouillon. Here's what I found in my fridge. A stick of broccoli, some spinach, baby carrots, an egg, and some potentially expired bits of pork. Of course, we have to have a green onion with them too, since that's classic to ramen. We should also use a teaspoon or 2 of vegetable oil. Mind you, this is just a sample of what's in my fridge. You should be making ramen your way with things you like. We'll start with the scallion. First, chop up the ends and the roots. Then, slice it up into small pieces. Just go at a pace you'll be okay with. Set the scallion aside and make room for the broccoli. Cut the broccoli so the florets and stem are separated. You can go the extra mile and chop off more stem from the florets if you feel like it. Make sure you chop the big stem into smaller chunks. For the baby carrots, we'll cut each one in half first. Carefully pinch the side of the carrot, make sure your knife is in line with the carrot, and cut it in half. Now to line them up so the flat side is down, and just run the knife through them until the chunks of carrot are as small as you'd like them. Set the heat on your stovetop to medium-high, then add oil to the pan. Once the oil starts to sizzle, it's time to add pork. Stir them around for 30 seconds, then let it alone for 30. Repeat the process until the pork is cooked all the way through. You'll know when there's no more pink on the outside, and it doesn't feel so squishy anymore. Now it's time to add the scallions. That'll flavor the pork, the oil, and the fat coming off the pork. Once again, 30 seconds of stirring, and 30 seconds of just letting the scallions do their thing. Yes, it seems strange to do stir-frying in a saucepan. Don't worry, it'll make sense later. Now it's time for the broccoli stems. Add the carrots. You know the drill. 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds wait. Make sure those veggies get covered in the oil. A good way to do that is by almost folding the stir-fry into itself. Now we'll add the florets. Once again, it's important to stir the florets into the meal, so they all get coated in oil. Soon after, you'll want to add some spinach. Now, this looks excessive for this size of pan, but when spinach leaves are exposed to heat, they tend to wilt and shrink. Just like that. They almost vanish into the mix of veg and pork. 30 seconds of stirring, 30 seconds of resting. Then, we take the pan off the heat and move on to the actual ramen. Set the heat to high. Pour your cup of water into another saucepan, then scoop in your bouillon. Stir that in extra good, and get every last drop of bouillon in there. Add cayenne, and mix again. Don't worry if your broth isn't the exact same color as mine. I like adding a lot of cayenne to my ramen. There's a lot of ways to incorporate egg into a nice ramen, like poaching, frying, hard boiling, or you can just mix it into the broth, almost scrambling the egg. Once the egg yolks and whites blend enough, it's best to wait for the broth to start boiling before you add your noodles. More bouillon. Time to add the ramen. To help it along, try to scoop some broth on top, or not. Either way, these noodles should take 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how firm or soft you like your noodles. Firmer noodles take less time than softer noodles. Stir the noodles when they're soft enough and exercise a smidgen more patience than what I'm showing here. Well, it's time to pour the noodles into the stir-fry. Make sure you stir extra good so the noodles are more evenly distributed. Now, scoop up some of your wonderful creation and serve it into a bowl. Don't forget to pour in some broth. Well, sometimes life has its way of making you feel down and out, and these things make cooking a delicious meal like this seem almost impossible. You did it. You made the best of a bad situation and made something that you can call yours. Always do your best to make the best of a bad situation and keep going, even when it seems impossible. Don't ever forget that. But before you go, let's talk about what you put in your bowl of ramen. Do you use chicken, beef stock, bok choy, sesame seeds? Do you go through the effort of poaching your egg, even in a rough patch? I'd like to know.